So imagine being able to say to your spouse, I need something. And instead of your spouse shutting down, they actually lean in. No tension, no argument, no walking on eggshells, just connection. Because for most couples, it's not that we don't try to express our needs, it's that when we do, somehow something comes out sounding critical. And instead of bringing us closer, it pushes the other person away. So if you've ever wondered, why is this so hard? Or why does my spouse always hear criticism when I'm just trying to be honest? Then stay with us in this video, because I'm going to be talking about why expressing your needs is so difficult in marriage, and why your spouse often struggles to hear them, and how to express what you need in a healthy, Christ-centered way without starting another fight. So, when I work with a couple in a marriage intensive, we always do this exercise, and it's called expressing your needs. And almost without fail, the exercise goes one of two ways. Either it completely blows up the intensive. I mean, emotions rise, defenses go up, and couples disengage. I mean, I've had couples literally just get into a knockdown, drag out with me watching. Or it becomes one of the most helpful and healing moments they experience together. And the difference isn't whether they express the need or not. It's how they approach it. Because if we're really honest, staying upset can feel easier than being vulnerable. So Scripture tells us that when we're not walking in the Spirit, we're walking according to the flesh. Galatians says that the flesh desires what's contrary to the Spirit. And the flesh always looks out for number one. The flesh is always hurt, always keeping score, always saying, well, they should just know. So instead of slowing down and naming the real need, we let frustration sit. We rehearse it. We stew in it. It doesn't come out of a need. It comes out as criticism. Not because we're trying to attack our spouse, but because our flesh is protecting itself. So here's something really important to understand. Most couples are not bad communicators. They're scared communicators. We're afraid of how our spouse will react, afraid of being misunderstood, afraid of starting another argument that feels bigger than the issue itself. So we hold things in. But unexpressed needs, they don't just disappear. They turn into frustration. And frustration always leaks out sideways as irritation, sarcasm, or criticism. Now, look at this from your spouse's side of the conversation. When a need comes out sounding critical from you, even unintentionally, their brain doesn't hear invitation. Their brain doesn't hear, hey, I want to connect with you. I want you to know me more. No. What their brain hears is a threat. And sometimes it's the words, you always, or you never. Sometimes it's your tone, it's your volume, or maybe it's your timing. We got the game on. You bring it up when they're tired or distracted or already overwhelmed. And then suddenly, even a legitimate need feels like an attack. When someone feels threatened, they don't listen. They defend. And the conversation shifts from understanding to survival. And so that's why it's so important to slow down and do this. Identify the base need, not just the aggravation. See, most of us express the frustration that's on the surface. That's the aggravation. We don't express the need that's underneath. So we say things like, hey, put the phone down. When the real need is, I really want to connect with you. Or you might say, you never want to have sex anymore. When the deeper need is closeness. So when we speak from aggravation and just kind of state the aggravation, our spouse hears criticism, right? And then they get defensive. But when we speak from the need, they're going to be more likely to hear vulnerability. and vulnerability invites connection. So if you don't slow down long enough to identify that base need, the need that's underneath the aggravation, your spouse never really gets a fair chance to respond well to you. So here's another reason we get misheard. It's how and when those needs are expressed. So healthy conversations rarely happen in the middle of chaos, like when life is crazy, or the kids are crazy, or there's so much going on. See, context really matters. So instead of just throwing a need out there, invite the conversation, right? Something as simple as, hey, I've been thinking about something, and so could we talk later tonight when things are calmer and the kids are in bed, right? That one sentence, it communicates respect. It creates emotional safety. And it also prepares your spouse to listen instead of just reacting in the moment. And once the conversation begins, here's another thing. How you start matters a lot. A harsh startup, it sounds like a blame, right? But a soft startup sounds like partnership. So a soft startup might sound like, hey, I just wanted you to know I'm not blaming you. I just want to share kind of how I've been feeling when this thing happens. Or a soft startup might be an apology. It might be a, hey, I really apologize. I've never talked to you about this, and I felt like I should. So that's a soft startup. And when you own your feelings, not, you always make me feel annoyed, but I've been feeling disconnected from you, right? I miss us. That's owning your feelings. And owning your feelings keeps the conversation from turning into a courtroom and invites your spouse into connection. So here's another place good conversations break down. Couples finally slow down, speak kindly, and then get vulnerable. But then they get vague. Like, you don't want to take the final step of really having good communication, so you just kind of pull back. I'm afraid of hurting your feelings, so I'm going to just stay vague with it. So you might just say something like, hey, I just need more help around the house. Or I need more connection. I'm telling you, man, especially if it's a guy, ladies, just be lovingly direct. We kind of need to hear what the need is. Your spouse wants to respond, but they don't know how when it's vague. So in this situation, clarity is kindness. So instead of, I just need more help, try, hey, could you help with bedtime like 2 nights a week? That would be huge. Or instead of, I need more connection, try, could we plan one phone-free night together each week? Because I'd really just love some one-on-one connection. See, guys, that's not controlling. That's what we call loving clarity. And so don't be vague. Be lovingly clear. So even with the right words, conversations can still speed up emotionally, especially if you're used to arguing or interrupting each other. So that's why simple tools can make such a massive difference. And so one of our favorite tools is this. It's called the talker-listener card. So one side says talker, and then the other side says, guess what? Listener. If you're expressing a need and you're trying to have a conversation with your spouse, then what you do is you face the talker side towards you. Put it on the table in between you. Talker side is to you, and while your spouse listens and without interrupting. And then there's some rules on it. And so as the talker, you talk. And then when you're finished, you just flip the card. And now they're the talker and you're the listener. Man, it is amazing how such a simple boundary can break years of bad communication habits. So if you want one of these little cards, you can click the link down below in the notes and just print your own. Print it out, fold it in half, keep it in your wallet, keep a couple on the fridge, and man, it's awesome. Now, here's the reality. Everything we talked about today works best when emotions stay regulated. But even with the best intentions, some conversations still start to heat up. And when they do, your brain goes offline and you default back to old patterns. And so that's why the next thing you need isn't better words. It's a better pause. It's a better timeout. So in our next video, we walk you through a simple Christ-centered tool called the pause and pray method. It helps you stop a heated conversation before it does damage, helps you recenter your heart and re-enter that conversation with clarity instead of conflict. So, click this link to watch Stop Heated Arguments Fast with the pause and pray method. Because the goal isn't just to express your needs, it's to protect the connection that God designed for your marriage to have.